Welcome to the FLNG News Brief. I'm Army Staff Sergeant Chris Milbrode. This month we get a look at how friendships can be built through competition, a course designed to help soldiers grow into leaders, the Florida Air National Guard gets a new boss, and a documentary produced by one of our own will be aired on TV. First, we head to Camp Blanding Joint Training Center, where earlier this month, the tag marksmanship match allowed soldiers to further their skills and build new friendships.
Watch and shoot.
This year's tag match started just like the ones before it, and as always, it's all about competition. As I was talking with the guys from the 690th MP Company, it became apparent that when the match began, they didn't know every member of their team.
One guy, Castro, I don't know his first name, he joined us. He's from a different company, and he just fit it right in. He's tearing up the targets real well, so, you know, we're happy he's here.
So as they start working as a team, they also start to become friends.
Kind of, you just click right away. You know, you got a job to do, and you just get to know each other going through it.
And it's not just the four guys who are shooting who are getting closer.
So you're going to do 6 rounds, left or right.
We've got Captain Negley. He's with the battalion. He's giving us a lot of pointers hanging out. So we got a captain, a couple staff sergeants, and a few specialists, and we're all just, you know, hanging out.
Making friends in a competition like this has another benefit to the Florida National Guard. When a mission comes up down the road, they won't have to worry about breaking the ice because
in a few months, if I see Castro again, boom, we're already friends. You know, it's a cool thing.
And finally, if you'd like to compete in next year's tag match with some friends or possibly make some new ones,
pass your PT test.
That simple? Pass your PT test?
Well, I mean, it comes with all the other fundamentals that comes with shooting, but you got to meet the requirements, the basic requirements, to be able to even be put on orders for this.
And they told me although the competition only lasts for 2 days, they hope the friendships they make here will last a lifetime. Reporting from Camp Blanding, I'm A.J. Artley for the Florida National Guard.
Next, we hear from Army Staff Sergeant Daryl Fulgham from the 107th MPAD about how the instructors for the Basic Leaders course are developing future NCOs for the Army.
That's why you don't see officers out there with soldiers doing their things. They're responsible for the bigger picture. The NCO, we're responsible for in the dirt with you training.
The first non-commissioned officer course was developed in 1949 at Fort Knox, Kentucky. Today's Basic Leadership Course, or BLC, prepares junior non-commissioned officers to take on the role of leaders. Soldiers come from all over the United States to Camp Blanding Joint Training Center's Regional Training Institute to learn leadership skills that they can take home to their units and implement throughout their careers.
Being in BLC is helping meet those challenges by just learning to be empathetic and learning that each individual comes from a different unit, a different MOS, a different background.
The instructors at the RTI encourage their students to not only meet, but exceed the standard.
Having that person underneath your wing, like at first I didn't know what to do because I didn't go to BLC. But now that I've gone, I feel like everything kind of makes sense. Everything is just tying together.
After a few more years as leaders, these soldiers will attend the Advanced Leader course in preparation for their next promotion.
That's the most gratifying part of this job, when you have those soldiers that have already been through and they come back and they say, hey, I got my first private, or I'm in charge of my first section, and they explain how some quotes that I've said have rung in their ears and helped them move forward with troops.
From Camp Blanding Joint Training Center, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Daryl Fulgham, 107th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment.
Now, it's back to historic St. Francis Barracks, where the Florida Air National Guard held a ceremony promoting Major General James Eifert and changed the command of the Florida Air National Guard over to Brigadier General Brian Simpler.
Effective 10 February 2017, Brigadier General Brian M. Simpler hereby assumes command of the Florida Air National Guard.
I'm very excited for the challenge. I've got some big shoes to fill with General Eifert being the previous commander.
Although these words sound like a cliche, General Simpler didn't use them lightly. He's known his friend for almost 20 years and knows just how he leads.
worked with him for many years, ever since I've been in the Florida Air National Guard since 1998. We've worked closely together. He's a truly selfless leader. He leads with integrity.
General Calhoun calls him a soldier's airman who works hard and tries to know everyone in the organization, not just the ones at the top.
General Eifert gets it. He knows the guy from the front gate to the guy climbing in the cockpit. So it will be my pleasure and honor to promote him at the end of today's ceremony.
And his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the Air National Guard of the United States and the Florida National Guard to the rank of Major General.
So as General Eifert gets promoted and moves on to his next duty assignment, he has these words to pass on to his friend.
As for words of advice, it's just trust your airmen, trust your leaders at every level. They're great people doing great things.
And he hopes all the airmen he served with through the years remember him for this.
That I cared for them and wanted the best for them, wanted the best for the organization, and worked hard to get us there.
Reporting from St. Augustine, I'm A.J. Artley for the Florida National Guard. Always ready, always there.
Finally this month, I sat down with our own A.J. Artley to discuss the television premiere of the documentary he produced about Camp Blanding. So how did it get to what we're about to see next month?
Colonel Johnson, commander of the post, he decided to send the shorter version to WJCT in Jacksonville to their GM, Michael Borland, and said, hey, we have this documentary that this guy produced. Would you run it on your TV station? And he told me about that. I'm thinking, there's no way. There's no way they're going to run this on there. And got the message back, yes, we love it, but it's too short. It needs to be longer to be able to fit a time slot. And I worked with a producer down there, Carlos Bouvier. Him and I used to work at a local TV station down there in Jacksonville together. It was like really fun. It was like old times working with him. And we stretched it about 5 minutes. And it is about 25 minutes long now. And there's about 7 new minutes of video footage in there.
So when this airs on TV, what is it that you want the viewers to get out of it?
Well, what I hope they get out of it is that they see that 800,000 people went through there for training, and it was a major place to go, and everyone knew where Camp Blanding was. And to see how big it was and what it meant to the state of Florida and what it meant to the local community here in Jacksonville, that's what I want people to see. I want them to see that Camp Blanding is not just this place that's out in the middle of nowhere and with little tiny importance. It was this massive military training facility. That's what I hope people get out of this documentary.
If you'd like to see the entire documentary, you can tune in to WJCT, the local PBS station in Jacksonville, on Thursday, March 23rd at 8 p.m., or visit the Camp Blanding Museum, where they will show it daily as part of their displays. That's all for this edition of the FLNG News Brief. Reporting from the Florida National Guard Public Affairs Office, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Chris Milbrodt. Tune in next month to see what's happening with your Guard.